With Starliner falling behind and fading from the race, a new contender is ready to rise and claim its spot, Sierra Space's Dream Chaser. After 20 years of intense development, this spacecraft is finally on the verge of its historic maiden flight, possibly taking off before Starliner's next mission. But before Dream Chaser soars into the cosmos, what tests does it need to undergo, and what thrilling future awaits it? Let's find out in today's episode. At the moment, final testing and launch preparations for Dream Chaser's maiden flight are in full swing at Kennedy Space Center. The 30-foot-long cargo spaceplane, aptly named Tenacity, arrived at the Cape in mid-May from NASA's Neil Armstrong test facility. Teams have since moved Tenacity into a high bay within NASA's Space Systems Processing Facility. On September 4, 2024, a major milestone was reached in the spacecraft's pre-launch testing. Sierra Space announced the successful completion of the acoustic test on the Shooting Star cargo module, an essential component of the Dream Chaser. This marks the first time such a test has been conducted inside the Space Systems Processing Facility. The purpose of this test was to precisely simulate the extreme acoustic environment that Shooting Star will face during its launch aboard the Vulcan Centaur rocket on its mission to the International Space Station. Known as the Direct Field Acoustic Test, the trial was a feat of engineering and meticulous preparation. Engineers arranged stacks of specially designed speakers, each a cutting-edge acoustic instrument, into towering 6.4-meter columns that encircled Shooting Star. It was a true symphony of science and sound. Over the course of 4 intense days, engineers generated an acoustic field 10,000 times louder than the sound of a typical rock concert. The numbers are truly staggering, but this is exactly the level of intensity the spacecraft will endure during launch. Shooting Star showcased its remarkable resilience by withstanding sound levels exceeding 140 decibels for several continuous minutes, which demonstrates its superior durability and readiness for spaceflight. Our innovative Shooting Star cargo module offers the capability to deliver additional capacity, flexibility, and power to a wide range of missions, said Sierra Space CEO Tom Weiss. In our first mission, Shooting Star will carry critical science, food, and cargo to the International Space Station for NASA, and our cargo modules will continue to play an integral role in bringing supplies to space as we build a low-Earth orbit economy through commercial spaceflight. The acoustic testing at Kennedy Space Center was executed using a mobile setup provided by West Virginia-based Acoustic Research Systems, Inc. It marked the first time that on-site acoustic testing has ever been conducted inside NASA's Space Systems Processing Facility, a historic staging ground for space station-bound components. Our goal is to simulate real-world launch conditions as accurately as possible to ensure that Sierra Space's Shooting Star cargo module is ready for its debut mission to the ISS, said ARS CEO Jeremiah Leader. The ARS team rose to the occasion, deploying a mobile configuration on-site at Kennedy Space Center for the first time inside the SSPF to provide Sierra Space with critical acoustic qualification testing. We look forward to supporting them during the upcoming Dream Chaser acoustic test. As for Tenacity, it's currently also undergoing final assembly, testing, and pre-launch processing inside the Space Systems Processing Facility. Over the past month, teams from Sierra Space and NASA have worked tirelessly to prepare for the tasks ahead. The current launch preparations are centered around 3 main areas. First, final assembly and system checks. This phase includes installing the remaining thermal protection panels, finalizing the propulsion system, and conducting leak tests. Just about a month ago, we saw Tenacity's heat shield nearly complete, so it's likely that this critical component is now fully flight-ready for the upcoming cargo mission. However, it seems Sierra Space will still devote significant time to thoroughly inspect the propulsion system and the spacecraft's valves. They've learned from Boeing's mistakes with Starliner, and with their maiden mission on the line, Sierra Space simply can't afford to repeat those missteps. Additionally, Sierra Space is conducting electromagnetic interference, EMI, and electromagnetic compatibility, EMC, testing. Crucial steps to ensure all electronic components function properly in the harsh ARF radio frequency environment of space. In orbit, spacecraft electronics must operate in close proximity. If one system emits too much interference or is overly susceptible to it, it could disrupt the performance of others, leading to system failures or, in a worst-case scenario, mission-critical issues. Now that Shooting Star has successfully passed its acoustic testing, Tenacity is next in line. It, too, will need to withstand the extreme noise levels of launch. Sierra Space is also testing Dream Chaser's differential braking system for its return from space and touchdown at the Launch and Landing Facility of Space Florida at Kennedy. And finally, we move into the stage of preparing the spacecraft for encapsulation inside the rocket fairing and integration with the ULA Vulcan Centaur systems. This is a complex process, requiring tight coordination between multiple technical teams. On August 16, Sierra Space made an exciting announcement on Twitter, Shooting Star cargo module goes vertical. The next time it does, this will be in preparation for launch. Initially, Dream Chaser Tenacity was slated for launch at the end of this month atop United Launch Alliance's Vulcan rocket. However, Dream Chaser isn't quite ready to fly just yet, causing a shift in the launch schedule. Unfortunately, we won't see it take off this month. The launch is now likely to happen early next year from Launch Complex 41 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. Between now and then, Sierra Space will make the most of the time available to finalize all necessary simulations and integration tests, preparing for Dream Chaser's first cargo mission. This phase is absolutely critical, as it sets the stage for the future launch of a crewed version of Dream Chaser. It's the same path SpaceX successfully followed with the Dragon spacecraft, starting with resupply missions to the ISS before moving on to crewed flights. The groundwork being laid now will not only ensure a smooth debut for Dream Chaser, but also help pave the way for its pivotal role in the next chapter of commercial space exploration. Although the U.S. already has the reliable workhorse Dragon handling both cargo and crewed missions to the ISS, Dream Chaser is still generating a lot of excitement. One of the standout features of Dream Chaser is its capability to bring back significant downmass from the ISS to Earth. Currently, SpaceX's Dragon is the only spacecraft with this ability, allowing for the transport of vital experimental results and critical items from space. Dream Chaser will soon join this elite club, adding tremendous value, especially to scientific research. Dream Chaser's downmass capabilities won't just provide an additional option. They'll be a game changer for the scientific community, particularly for experiments managed by NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, MSFC. Thanks to Dream Chaser's ability to land on runways, including ones close to MSFC, it can deliver materials and experimental results within hours of landing. This speed offers a significant advantage over Dragon, which must be recovered from the ocean and then transported back to land. What's more, Dream Chaser is designed to land at conventional airports with minimal specialized infrastructure, making recovery and refurbishment remarkably simple. Sierra Space is not just shaping the future of spacecraft development, they're redefining the entire operational life cycle. Recently, they've announced a strategic partnership with All Points Logistics, a key player based in Merritt Island, Florida. This collaboration is set to be a game changer for Dream Chaser, with All Points Logistics stepping in to handle critical ground operations. Starting in 2026, All Points Logistics will be building a space prep facility at Kennedy Space Center. Spanning an impressive 500,000 square feet, about 46,000 square meters, this facility will serve as a comprehensive hub for all Dream Chaser operations. Its prime location, near the historic launch and landing facility, will provide unparalleled logistical convenience. The space prep facility will also feature storage areas for equipment, transport containers, and various materials, along with office spaces for launch campaign teams. Sounds incredibly promising, right? In the near future, we'll have a stellar lineup of spacecraft like Dragon, Starliner, Dream Chaser, and even Starship, all geared up for transporting people and cargo to space. The competition is heating up. So, what do you think about the rivalry among these spacecraft? Can Dream Chaser truly make a mark in this high-stakes space race? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. All right, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth looks at the latest advancements in space technology. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.